I can fix her. Never mind. Milk Outside a Bag of Milk Outside a Bag of Milk is a sequel to the lesser-known video game Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. Are you following me so far? Milk Outside a Bag of Milk may have one of the most realistic and unfiltered displays of mental illness in the video game medium. The soundtrack, visuals, and storytelling paint a discomforting yet perfect picture of the main character's unstable mental state. In Milk 2, as I'll call it from now on, you begin by witnessing what looks to be the events of the first game summarized in a brief animation. Milk Girl, as I'll call her, makes a simple trip to the store to purchase some milk, an experience that's clearly not pleasant for her. What follows this normal yet slightly foreboding animation is honestly one of the most dreadful and downright unsettling opening sequences I've seen. Milk Girl is seen running down a hallway. She's imagining a corpse on the other side of the door she sees at the end of the hall, and her frantic darting of the eyes accompanied by this absolutely raw soundtrack in the background makes her delusions crystal clear in these opening moments. This entire scene terrified me on my first playthrough. The visuals of a lone creature standing at the end of a dark hallway with only its face occasionally illuminated, and that damn guitar strumming away. Ah jeez, turn it down! It really instills a sense of pure fear in the player's head. This is how you set up an atmosphere. Shooting awake after this sequence of events, Milk Girl speaks to herself for a short while, monologuing about the day while mundanely brushing her teeth, until the player is given a single prompt to interact with her. Hey. The player quickly discovers that they are the voice inside this poor girl's head. The player is what's keeping her entertained. Milk Girl likely has schizophrenia and has rationalized one of the voices in her head as being the player in a video game. That's a pretty messed up setting for a game to take place in. All the different types of medicines she's switching between can't seem to keep you out of her head though. She has no idea what most of them are or what they do. She says in her own words that she just swallows them all together and never really pays any more attention than that. The player is going to be there, playing along in the game she's created in her own head, and you can actually try and do some good for Milk Girl. Of course, say the right combination of things, and you might just trigger... Yeah, the player's decisions hold a lot of sway in Milk Girl's mind, considering you're just about all she has. Being the lone voice in Milk Girl's head, we assume anyways, the player can choose to learn as much or as little as they would like to about her. The player can push her for details on stories she tells, clearly making her uncomfortable but receiving the sense of satisfaction that comes with knowing the intimate details of someone's personal life. Alternatively, the player can decide that they don't really care and treat Milk Girl as an afterthought, breeze through the story while being as much of an observer as possible. To talk too in-depth about this main chunk of the game would essentially be spoiling the entire experience. If you haven't already, go pick up the game and give it a playthrough. It's like super cheap on Steam and it really doesn't take that long to complete. Regardless of choice, the most the player can manage to influence is the type of dream Milk Girl has at the end of the night. Some say that the different endings are just different bedtime stories that the player is telling Milk Girl, but I like to imagine that at the end of the game she does manage to sleep, if even for a little bit. Depending on what situations you push to happen, and what memories you may try and have her recall, at the end of the day, your only influence is what she happens to dream about. I think it's a rather fitting way to end a game that so rigorously displays the intense emotions and feelings that accompany mental illness. For all the work the player decides to do, for all the talking, and if the player was feeling up to it, for all the help you try to give Milk Girl, their influence remains minimal at best. Can you fix her? No, maybe not. But can you make her day better? Help her tussle with her demons, maybe even see things in a different light, if only for a moment? Yeah. Maybe you can.